Good day everyone, my name is Kudu and today we're going to be looking at a battle in the Russian Tier 10 Premium battle cruiser Stalingrad. Now, Stalingrad has been around for about a year and a half, give or take, and it has always been regarded as quite overpowered, if you will, a bit broken. I've had it for over a year, and I remember it was quite exciting, especially in the first few months. It was nerfed briefly the beginning of 2019 to a full BB's fire duration. It still remains an extremely strong ship. Quite a long queue today, but it improves matchmaking, so it really doesn't bother me. There we are. So, Stalingrad's 9 305mm high velocity, high penetration guns that have exceedingly good dispersion. We have an armor scheme similar to the Moskva, slightly thicker side armor, but the ship size is overall a bit bigger, so it's a bit easier to whittle down because you actually get more hits. So, what a lovely ship. My build is going to be in the description. The main difference is that I don't play concealment, the concealment module, but I play the rudder shift module. I feel this helps a lot to juke shots. The concealment is horrible. It goes to 15.8, I believe. But with Stalingrad, you can deal very good consistent damage even at max range. You don't need to get much closer than 17 kilometers. You can hit almost anything with great consistency. So I prefer the extra maneuverability to hit shots. So here we're going to go to the east, 9-10ish, and we'll just see how it goes on. An advantage of this build is that you can very easily kite away. You have a better window to turn the ship for a U-turn and not get citadeled as the rudder shifts, so to say, faster. And we have very good rearward firing angles. We won't see too much of that in this battle, but the option is certainly there if you want to defend and just buy your team time to face off versus several ships and not get yourself killed. So, see, I'm detected. Now, the moment I'm detected, I immediately start turning because every BB and his cousin is going to shoot at your citadel, and see how fast my ship is already pretty much past the citadel angle. That Montana has taken his shot. He's just too far. We're already safe. It's lava when we see that ship. Now, the Moskva has also fired at us. It's nothing to worry about. Montana missed. And we're pretty much A-okay. Now that would be a nice shot on the Moskva. And just look at that dispersion. From behind rock, but we did hit him. So, there's the Yamato quite far away. Our Somers has torpedoed the he did well. The Somers is a pretty good ED, but not a good AA, which is a thing these days. Now we keep on pushing up. AFK Montana, always not something too good. We continue pushing up, and we'll just see what we meet. Our team seems to be pushing B. I think the daring decided he didn't like the smell of A and he's heading for B. Perhaps he feels his support is too far, which is a consideration. Well, we're spotted here, and it's probably the enemy DD under fire. Oh, and it's the Z-52, giving away his position. And there's also a Minotaur shooting at us. So here we just need to start juking because those BBs in the distance have most certainly fired at us. We don't want them to hit us for half our life. Oh, and now Des Moines with torpedo. I don't quite know how or why that happened, but it's unfortunate. Now remember, Stalingrad's HE is very strong, so it's a good choice to shoot anything, and especially EDs. Going to pop my radar. There's the Z-52. He seems to be reversing, so we'll get a shot off. I'll get the shot off, and then immediately I will turn away to starboard, so I don't get kind of trapped in a position. It's important to not get trapped on, because you will eventually be killed, no matter whether it's a Stalingrad or a Kremlin or a Yamato. Spam has gotten much better in this game. Some good damage on that Z. I wouldn't mind getting first blood. Switch to AP, perhaps shooting that Minotaur, but here I make the correct choice and shoot the DD. Now that is fire discipline. Mine would have been a tasty shot, but it's always more important to damage the DD. Always shoot the DD if you have any opportunity or any probability of damaging it. Now don't take me too literally and try and shoot it at DD at 20 kilometers away in Montana. If you feel you have any probability of damaging a DD, 1,000 damage on a DD is better than a Citadel on a BB. Destroyer life is the most precious commodity in World of Warships game. So we snap off a shot at the Yamato with AP, because we had AP loaded. Unlikely to do very much, and I switch to H. In here we're taking a classic Stalingrad fighting position. We are very difficult to penetrate at this range, and at this angle most things are just going to bounce, and we start working on the enemy team. That Mino is in a tricky position. I would love to get some AP on him, but as he's moving it's not really going to be worth the risk, so I'll go for more solid damage on the Yamato. We've lost our Yamato. I don't know what's going on. ACAP, DD kind of abandoned them. He's on C now, kind of leaving them stranded. They should have disengaged. You see, you don't have a DD, well, you're going to have to disengage if the enemy has a DD, because you're going to be outspotted. Some HE shots on the Yamato. Stalingrad, I believe, has around 4,500 AP HE damage and 36% fire chance. So while you certainly want to be using that monstrous AP, HE is perfectly serviceable. And with your pretty good rate of fire, I mean, think about it, the Graf Spee has the same rate of fire as you. Now, so your rate of fire really is quite horrendous for guns that powerful. Snap off an AP salvo at the Krufus, we'll see what we can do. As long as he's giving you enough broadside, you can deal damage to a Krufus at any range. Well, disappointing, but it's better than nothing. Let's see what we can do with this Mino. Stalingrad is one of the ships that really hard counter Minotaur. You have the radar if he wants to play hide and seek, and either way you penetrate him at almost every angle for citadels, and your shells are so fast the normal shenanigans of dodging aren't going to work. So really there's nothing he can do, and your dispersion is very tight. You're just going to hit him very consistently for very good damage. So there's our friend the Z-52. He has taken some damage. Hopefully the team can finish him. And he doesn't seem to be playing survivability expert. That always puts you at a disadvantage in a DD. As I mentioned before, DD life is very vicious. So he's almost done. I don't think I need to shoot him again. And yes, our friendly Somers finishes him off. Now this Montana took a shot at me, not well aimed. I'm always juking my rudder, so he's not going to hit us. He is broadside, but he's turning, so HE can get more consistent damage. And no hits. Doesn't happen often in the Stalingrad. Yeah, team here is behind C. We've taken C, we've kind of driven them away. So the correct thing is to now move towards B. You always want to have two caps, as the enemy are going to be forced to push at some stage. The ship losses are equal. There's another nice salvo on this Monty. See what we can do. And there is our friend the Minotaur. Switching to AP, and we'll see what we can do. We locked our Hindenburg, that was the last of the A team, and let's see how we can kind of snipe. And there is a very tasty Moscow. I follow with my initial target, the Minotaur. Now let's hope I can finish him. No, just a couple of penetrations. So here we will switch to the Moskva, who is giving us a delightful ride. Moscow and Stalingrad share an enormous citadel, and we have improved auto bounce angles, so even at that angle we should be able to citadel him, which we do for a lot of damage. There's the Minotaur. I think he seems to be reversing slightly, so if the RNG gods are with us, we should be able to finish him. Just lead slightly. The shells are very fast, so it doesn't need much lead. The shells are away. And that is the end of the Minotaur. Wow, the enemy crew rammed out Moy, or someone will have to kill secure him. And thankfully the Sommers kills him as well. Wow, some good gunnery by that Sommers. 2 gun kills. So, ship-wise, we are 1 ship ahead, but they do have a cap. In close games like this, caps define who is going to win or not. So we need to make a push on a cap. I'm going to continue here along BC line while I hope my team takes the other flank to enter B, so I can kind of scare this Montana away. It's a rare close game. We're 10 minutes into the game. Both teams are both still quite healthy, and there is still a lot to fight for. We're sitting on 111,000 damage, not too shabby, and we still have a lot of shooting to do. Strangely not detected yet, despite my enormous action, and there is the Moskva. Sadly, we have HE loaded. That would have been quite devastating salvo if it was AP. We can't switch ammo in time, so I take the shots as is. Unless you're running expert loader and you get a shot like that, just use whatever is loaded. It will hopefully do something. Yeah, switching would have resulted in no damage whatsoever, so I just stuck with HE, even though it certainly would have been less effective than AP celebrating each side. And fire blindly at Montana. We'll see what we can do. Thunderer seems to be also pushing up, but our team is tapping. The bounce on Monty. Let's have a look what we can do with this Thunderer. As I've mentioned in previous videos, British BBs now do have a citadel, a waterline citadel, so if you shoot at the waterline about the middle of the ship, you should get consistent citadels, unlike in the past where you would get, well, just penetrations, with most aggravating. That's a nice shot. I was hoping for a little bit more damage. He's slightly angled. But we are getting those penetrations, which is what Stalingrad excels at, getting consistent penetration damage as long as you can see just some broadside. The rule of thumb is usually if a ship can fire its rear turrets, you can get penetration damage. You're not going to get ricochets. So the Zhao is also pushing up. Wow, they still have a lot of ships. So do we. Now, again, I don't seem to have time to shoot the Zal, and I sadly have HE loaded for the Montana, so again, a HE salvo on the Zal really wouldn't be expedient. Now, it pays to always focus one ship and try and get your allies to do the same. So you're kind of working on the same ship here. The Moskva is not such an easy target. It's angled, and he's shooting just throttle back and forth. So I can get more consistent damage on the Montana, so that's what I will focus on. He's very far, and he's accelerating and decelerating, so it might not work trying to hit him. Here I have a dearth of targets, so I will shoot at the Moskva. He seems to be turning. Now that Montana is behind the island, and I don't know what he wants to do really. He's just sitting there. He's not showing himself. I don't know what our Kurfürst is doing over there. Oh, okay, he's trying to avoid the Yoyang. And our DDs are both in, I don't know what the doing, he's just doing, just sitting there. Generally, or we'll cover this in another video, after taking caps, DDs should head for enemy DDs and not necessarily just for damage. I mean, here it's clear that the Yoyang is retarding our movement. That was a nice shot on the Moskva. With a PC at that angle, we can get a citadel. This is the infamous Stalinium, the improved auto bounce angles. Our Zhao goes out, and I think we're going to lose our Yamato. So now we are two ships down, dear me. So I take my shot at the Montana. Let's see what we can do to him. Nice flat broadside, 14k is very respectable. So the bearing is here, and there's the Yoyang. Thomas spotted him. Another broadside shot into the Montana. You can see I'm taking some fire. I use my repair. I do run Admiral Kuznetsov on the Stalin. He works very well on the Stalin. Why, daring? Why? Why would you lose half your life like that? But the torpedoes do look good. A trick I tend to do with Kuznetsov. Oh, and there's a broadside Des Moines. I'll snap off a shot to secure the kill. Don't want him surviving. And Kuznetsov has just fired off. What I do is once Kuznetsov fires off, I try and use a normal heal at the same time. So your life gain is quite quick. As you can see, we're at 7,000 life, and I'm already at over double. So it sometimes off-puts the enemy when they see you gain so much life. Now, there's the Montana. It's a slightly tricky angle. I'm going to go for AP, but perhaps hindsight, I should have gone for HE. AP just bounces off. Now here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ships that are focusing me. No matter how tough your ship is, I mean, they're not hitting me for huge amounts of damage. They will whittle you down, especially if your life is low, like mine is. HE from the Moskva, HE from the Zhao. That's AP from the Montana, and HE definitely from the Thunderer. They're going to kill you quite quickly. I'm going to get one last salvo off on this Montana and a fire, and that will be our game. But the battle is still raging. We have a cap advantage, but they have a ship advantage. It's one of those very rare battles where the game is close. So while this is playing, my feelings on the Stalingrad, it's a very strong ship. You can use AP. That should be your main ammunition choice. Don't be afraid of using HE on angled targets. It's damage and good fire chance, and the accuracy just means many shells hit your target, so that's more rolls on the dice to get a fire on him. The enemy seem to be pushing towards B, but our Sommers is securing C, so that's 3 caps. They're going to have to really rush to get the caps. The enemy Yoyang, perhaps he's damaged, is running away. And as I was saying, yes, the Stalingrad, the ammunition is great. Concealment works well as well, but you're a more static ship. So if you get yourself into a difficult situation, you will have to just try and reverse out, which just doesn't really work. You have, an X amount of time before you sink. So the damage you deal is also not really exceptional. While here you see I was dodging, the potential damage is phenomenal, 4.9 million, because you can just dodge shots at your normal engagement distance, which should be 16 to 19 kilometers. A good shot, you can get very consistent damage, as I did in this game, HE or AP. So there's the enemy, Yu Yang. It's exchanging fire with our Sommers, but he's running away. Hopefully he'll make it. We're at 900 points. Oh, there goes Sommers. So yes, it's a great ship, the Stalingrad. I recommend it. It's great for competitive play. It's great for clan battles, though you want a mix of Moskvas and Stalingrads because Stalingrads are susceptible to just being burnt down, while Moskvas just burn like a cruiser. And in ranked, I ranked out last season, and the last few battles were done with Stalingrad because it kind of hard counters many Smolensks that we saw. You can just radar, and he's probably going to be in range. Ranked map, the smaller. You can get consistent damage. Even if you don't Citadel, just shoot him right in the middle of the ship, and you'll get very good damage. Oh, there goes our Kurfürst. This is going to be our Kurfürst. It's going to be a close one. Wow, it's going to be very, very close, but 12 seconds, I think we will have just won. So a big thumbs up from me for the Stalingrad. It's great in ranked. You can consistently damage any ship at almost any range, as I did in this battle, using a combination of ammunition. The raid, of course, is a very great piece of kit. So first place, 2,500 base XP, damaged very many ships, very good damage on that Montana, 23,000 damage worth of fire. And let's quickly look at my build, which will also be in the description. $600,000 credits, very good. Admiral Kuznetsov, a pretty much typical build. And here we have Rudder Shift, which is the kind of spicy part of our build. So see you next time.